Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Erschen, and we're going to have so much fun this week, guys, because we're doing a horror tag video. And because I'm such a massive fan of the Halloween franchise and the Michael Myers character, this is going to be the Michael Myers tag. That's right. That's how I'm going to throw my hat into the mix. So the first question, let's get into it. It's going to be, if Michael Myers appeared in your house with butcher knife in hand, what would you do and how would you react? So in my case, first of all, I would be absolutely terrified, so I might be in shock for a second. But then I would go run and grab my wife Christy if she's sleeping, wake her up, get the hell out of the house as soon as possible. If you have to smash a window, if you have to run into the basement and go out into the bulkhead, or if I have to go through a back door, whatever I have to do to get out of the house. And as soon as I get out of the house, I would call the police on the cell phone, and I would also knock on all the neighbors' doors, much like Laurie did in the original Halloween. Only I probably wouldn't be screaming as much, but and that's that. So question number 2, what was your favorite Michael Myers acting performance in the franchise? My answer to that is Dick Warlock in Halloween 2. I'm a huge fan of Dick Warlock's performance in Halloween 2. I think he took what Nick Castle did and just took it to the next level. Like, to me, he was so incredibly evil. He just had that presence about him that was just so menacing and so evil and so damn creepy. Just when you see him, even just see him walking through the halls is terrifying and creepy. Just everything about him, the way he moved and the way he behaved, was just so Michael Myers. I love it. So Dick Warlock in Halloween 2 for me. Next up, question number 3. What was your favorite Michael Myers kill in the history of the Halloween franchise? So mine again, gotta go with a scene from Halloween 2, 1981, folks. And that is the hot tub death scene. That's right, Nurse Karen's death in Halloween 2, in the hot tub scene when they're fooling around, her and Leo Rossi's character, Bud. And I just think it's so creepy when you first see Michael Myers standing behind Karen and he puts his arm on her shoulder. It's so creepy, and she's like kissing his hand stuff because she thinks it's Bud. And of course, as soon as she turns around, he grabs her head and dunks it in the hot tub in the scalding, super scalding hot water, and her face burns off. Oh, it's sick. It's awesome. And it's very, very morbid, but it's incredibly well shot and well directed. I love that scene. Okay, so question number 4. Do you think they should have made Jamie Lloyd the killer in Halloween 5? A lot of people think about that. I've heard a lot of people talk about that. A lot of people wanted that to happen because of the way Halloween 4 ended, and when you see Jamie with the scissors in her hand and in the clown costume, just like Michael in the original Halloween at the beginning. So a lot of people feel like she should have been the killer. That's the route they should have took in Halloween 5. But it didn't work out that way. Halloween 5 continued with Michael Myers as the killer. So what are my thoughts on that? I think they should have played to that aspect somewhat, but I still would have had Michael Myers be the main killer. But I also would have had Jamie Lloyd's character maybe be his sidekick or something. I remember an interview with Danielle Harris. She said something to that effect. Like she thought she was either going to be the killer or be his sidekick. That would have been awesome. I agree. That would have been awesome. At any rate, I think they handled that part of the film pretty well. You know, I like what they did with the storyline. I like the fact that she was just traumatized and sent to the psychiatric hospital. And a lot of people don't like that. They don't like the fact that she was mute. And but it makes sense to me because she was absolutely traumatized, horrified at what she had done to her foster mother. And that's the way I feel about it. Alright, next question is, Number 5, the question is, do you think they went too far with the Thorn Cult storyline that started in Halloween 5 and continued in Halloween 6? Do you think they went too far with it? Do you think it's too complex and convoluted? A lot of people feel that way. On my personal opinion, I don't think they went too far. I actually really like the concept of it. I just think it wasn't really handled well. It wasn't executed well. It was handled poorly, and then that's what I felt hurt the film. The fact that it had really bad acting, and it just wasn't executed well. It was a great concept, but it was poorly executed, in my opinion. So next up, question number 6. What is the worst Halloween film in the franchise, and why? So my answer to that is, like many people say, Halloween Resurrection. That's the bottom of the barrel for me. The absolute shit fest that is Halloween Resurrection. Yeah, I pretty much hate that movie. I can't even get through it. It's just terrible. It just feels like a cheap knockoff, like a cheap B movie, a cheap cash grab on the name of Halloween and the Halloween legacy. It's just a make a quick buck. That's all it's about for me. Okay, next question is, would you have made Halloween 2018 a sequel to the original film, or a sequel to Halloween 2 from 1981, or a sequel to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Now, what are your thoughts on that, guys? That's a very interesting question, isn't it? Me, personally, I would have made it a sequel to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Why is that, you say? You might be shocked that I said that. It's because of the continuity issues in the Halloween franchise. So I would have wanted to keep some continuity to it instead of throwing it in the middle of the mix somewhere in between Halloween 4 and 5, or Resurrection, continuing it from that movie, or continuing it from Halloween 2. As much as I like the idea of then continuing it from Halloween 2, because I like the brother-sister angle and I love Halloween 2, I just think it would mess up the continuity all over again, and that's been a big problem with the franchise. So because of that, that's why I would continue with Halloween 3 as a continuation of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So there you have it, folks. That's my answer to that. And the final question of the evening, folks, is I want you to reenact your favorite line in the Halloween franchise, like kind of act it out, or, you know, however you want to do it. So this is going to be mine, folks. I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, not even the most rudimentary understanding of life or death, good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 7 years trying to reach him, another 8 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. Alright, guys, that is it for the Michael Myers tag. Now, who am I going to tag in return? Okay, we're going to start with Horror Gal. Then it's going to be Boogeyman Ben. Then next up is Horror Metal and Horror Addicts. So if you guys want to answer the call, I'd love to see your response. And any guys, if you want to do a response video to this, feel free. You can post the link in the comments below. I'd love to watch your videos. So thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Erschen, in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared.